House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
You're listening to House of Cards.
Today, the game is different.
I want to gamble. Gambling is a very serious business. Is that clear?
Welcome to House of Cards. Dave Weishaupt with you here, deep from the swamps of Jersey. We got a great show coming up for you. You know, ever since the U.S. Supreme Court struck down the federal ban on sports betting, people have been bombarded by TV ads, radio spots, print ads from different sports books telling you all the great things they have to offer. But in my opinion, one sports book is head and shoulders above the rest. That's why I'm excited to talk to our guest coming up, because he is CEO of my favorite sports book. Coming up, I'm going to be talking with Johnny Aitken from PointsBet. So stick around. We'll be right back with House of Cards.
Money matters. Money always matters. If you owe thousands in back taxes to the IRS, how much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I paid less than I owe.
That's right. Money matters. So call Tax Solutions Now and get the IRS off your back. Since 2014, Tax Solutions Now has been a leader in the tax resolution industry. That's why we say money matters. Remove wage garnishments, property liens, fines, and penalties. Qualify for the Fresh Start program or even uncollectible status. Money matters. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you?
I owed the IRS over $10,000. I paid a fraction of what I owed.
Call now to reduce or even eliminate your back taxes.
We were being audited. We couldn't sleep. We called Tax Solutions Now.
I called Tax Solutions Now and got the IRS off my back. Thanks. You saved us a ton of money.
Money matters. How much can Tax Solutions Now save you? Call now and find out.
Call 800-297-9788. 800-297-9788.
Psst. Yeah, you. Come here. Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
You're listening to House of Cards. Check out our website at houseofcardsradio.com.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishaupt with you. You know, sitting here in New Jersey, I have my pick of the sports books available to me in the state. But the one I use the most, and the one I think is by far the best one out there, is PointsBet. That's why I'm thrilled to talk to our next guest. He is the CEO of my favorite sports book. From PointsBet, we have Johnny Aitken on the phone. Johnny, thanks for joining us.
No, thanks for having me.
Johnny, like I said, here in New Jersey, we know how grave a sportsbook PointsBet is. But for people across the country who live in states that have just legalized sports betting and maybe aren't quite familiar with all the sportsbooks out there, can you tell us a little bit about PointsBet?
Yeah, PointsBet is a company that originated in Australia, but it's a company that's built on excellence around technology and US sports. A lot of people don't know here, but, US sports in Australia are our biggest sports. Probably 10 sort of years ago in sports betting, US sports made up under 1% of handle. They now sort of contribute upwards of 30 to 40% of handle, and particularly NBA and NFL are extremely popular in Australia. So when we launched in Australia, we always had an eye on the States, and we launched by offering the most markets in the world for both, or for NHL, NFL, MLB, and NBA. So when that great day came, when PASPA was repealed, we didn't, have to, re-engineer our sort of business plan or our strengths. We already had a great foundation built around excellence in US sports, and that's worked really well for us here in New Jersey to start with, and we're soon to be live in, Indiana and Illinois to come. So we are a sports book that's built off great technology, great product. We do want to be different. We felt that the sports books that went before us in New Jersey, it was a little bit vanilla. So our aim internally is to, again, always be different and always be engaging. And that's been a great success, story to date for us.
Tell us something about your background in the world of sports betting and how that led you to become the CEO of PointsBet.
Pretty much since I came out of the womb, I've been around betting. In Australia, horse racing is, extremely popular and still probably makes up 70% of sort of revenues gained from sort of online sports betting. So have always been around horse racing betting, but from a young age have loved, sports, specifically NBA. I think on my 10th birthday, my dad got me a Patrick Ewing's, 33 Knicks jersey. So the fact that I'm sitting here now based in Denver with a team of upwards of 100 that work for PointsBet US, sort of managing US sports, and here at the starting line of the US sports betting industry is, really exciting. As I said, the thing that separates PointsBet from the pack is that we have our own technology and we're very focused on being a technology company. We feel we're not just competing against, the likes of FanDuel and DraftKings, but we're competing against Instagram and Facebook and, our banking apps for time that people spend on their apps and how they, choose to invest money. And that's why we sort of, hold ourselves to a really high sort of regard and our sort of benchmark in terms of the experience on the app. And we just released a new app about 3 or 4 sort of weeks ago. It's the fastest in the market, and we won't stop there. We'll keep sort of building things that are different and unique, and sort of making sure that, if everyone, wants to place a sports bet, that they're doing that at PointsBet.
How has sports betting changed since you got into the business? I mean, I've talked to operators in Vegas and all over the world, and they tell me they've never seen the business quite like it is today. What have you seen as the biggest evolution in the sports betting business?
Yeah, I think it's changed sort of rapidly. When I first started in Australia, I worked for a sort of telephone business that had 50, VIP clients that would bet a minimum of probably $10,000 a race or a sporting event up to 5 to 10 sort of million. That sort of game's changed now, and everything's obviously online. And again, unless you're excellent in technology and the platform's stable and you're offering everything that everyone else does and more, again, you're not going to succeed. So, we've made a huge focus of establishing ourselves here in the US. We felt we had a lot of learnings from the Australian market that, again, we could apply here, but we wanted to complement that with great sort of US talent, and we've done that both in New Jersey and now in Denver, and we're soon to, again, open an office in Illinois. So it is a vastly changing space. If you are complacent for a second, you'll get sort of run over. So we always want to get better. We're always asking our clients what they want. We think even what works in New Jersey isn't sort of necessarily, again, going to be applicable to what will work for us in Illinois and states like, again, sort of Colorado. So it's a very sort of busy time, but one we feel, again, with our own technology and that just pure focus on the US sports betting opportunity that, again, we're going to be extremely successful in.
Stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with Drizzly.com. Stick around. We'll be right back with more House of Cards.
Credit card debt can ruin your life. If you owe $10,000 and minimum payments are siphoning away your paycheck each month, you can get debt-free in less time than you think.
I've paid $800 a month for the past 3 years and haven't changed the balance on my credit card.
Get debt-free now has a program to reduce your debt, stop the harassing phone calls, avoid financial ruin, and settle for less than you owe.
I feel like a huge weight has been lifted off my shoulders.
You're pre-approved for our special hardship program if you owe $10,000 or more. Upon payment of your new lower balance, your debt will finally shrink until you are debt-free.
My family no longer has 30 years of payments ahead of us at 20% interest.
There's no fees until you see results. So call now, make one monthly program payment, and free up your cash. Resolve your debt.
Call 800-515-1558. 800-515-1558.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Where was the house? Where was the House of Cards?
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you here. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to Drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with Drizzly.com. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with the CEO of PointsBet, Johnny Aitken. You know, you've touched on it a little bit. My next question. I mean, PointsBet is very successful in Australia. When the U.S. Supreme Court struck down the ban against sports betting in the U.S., did you feel that what made you successful in Australia could make you successful in the U.S., or did you have a brand new strategy when you hit the U.S. market?
No, we always thought the sort of foundations of the business that were established in Australia were going to carry us a long way. The three being technology, excellence in US sports, and being different, having points of difference. Sort of one example of that is points betting, which is completely unique to PointsBet. Very different from a normal bet where you simply sort of win or lose. With points betting, essentially, the more you're right, the more you win. We always felt that those foundations would carry us a long way, but again, to your point, we also know that, you know, the states and even each state of the US is very different, and the types of people that are in each state are very different. So we really wanted to be hyper-focused and have a state-by-state strategy. We feel, for example, a market like New York, if it opened up, would be an extremely appealing market for points betting, given the amount of people that work in the financial markets there particularly, versus a state like Illinois, where, you know, sports like college sports, sort of NASCAR, for example, again, would be more popular. So we are taking a state-by-state approach, built off the great foundations that have been established in Australia.
Was that one of the big challenges in the U.S. market, that every state really has a different idea of sports and betting, and you had to conquer those hurdles in each state? Is that the big challenge for PointsBet?
Yeah, I'm not going to lie. creates a lot of work because you can't just come here and have a national strategy and every state's open and you can just do big sort of ad spends at a national level. You really have to be, hyper-focused and think through each state. A great example of that is that for sort of New Jersey, the media landscape there is that New York supplies the north of Jersey, again, with above-the-line media, and sort of Philadelphia supplies South Jersey. So, if you're buying expensive sort of TV spots in New York and Philadelphia to support your business in New Jersey, you've got a huge amount of spillage. It does create a lot of work, but again, the best people are sort of required to think through that, and that's what I'm confident that we have here at PointsBet. We've placed a huge emphasis on, bringing in the best people. I know, again, that's often said by a lot of companies, but we really do emphasise that, and I've been really proud of the achievements to date from our group here in the States.
You hit on it on the last answer, and you talked about what makes point betting unique. Talk to me more about the points betting and what could that offer customers?
Yeah, points betting is a way, I think, to get more engaged in an event. For some people, as you know, it's not about being right, it's about being really, really right. So, for instance, a client that wants to back the New York Knicks plus 10 and for some reason thinks that they're going to have a great game, sort of rather than have the opportunity to simply sort of double their bet via a normal fixed odds bet at the spread line, they have the opportunity with points betting to ride in the upside. So the more that the Knicks sort of cover the spread, if they lose by 5, they've beaten the spread by 5. If they win by 5, they've beaten the spread by 15. They get a multiple of that with their stake. So a clear example of that would be the Lakers versus the Nuggets. The over-under for total points is set at 220. Again, as I said, a normal fixed odds bet, if it goes to 225, 230, if it goes to overtime and hits 250, if you've had a normal fixed odds bet, it doesn't matter. You've doubled your money, essentially. With points betting, you're sort of riding that upside. So if it goes to 230, you've beaten the spread by 10 and you'll win 10x your bet. If the greatest event of all time happens to you and it goes to double overtime and hits 260, you've beaten the spread by 40 and you win 40 times your bet. And the same is, on the inverse. So we also allow our clients to define the risks that they do want to take, essentially a stop loss. So some people do sort of want to ride that max sort of velocity up and down, but others want to set a pretty clear 5x or 10x sort of gauge of losses or wins. What the points betting also allows us to do is to build the most markets in the world and extremely unique markets. It's actually funny, the first bet we ever took in New Jersey was a points betting bet, and it was on the time of first 3-point shot being made in an NBA game between Atlanta and Indiana. The client had $20 a second on over 100 seconds for the first 3-point shot being made in this game. And I still sort of remember it, sort of Trae Young sort of dribbling down the court and swishing a three at the 20-second mark. And the client, unfortunately, on that occasion lost, 80 times his stake. So he lost 80 times 20, which is $1,600. I spoke to the client the next day. He's a well-known sort of professional bettor here in, the US, and he was quite engaged by it all. He felt that he'd become quite immune to normal sports betting, and it was all math and just trying to drive sort of earnings and revenue. But this bet had that, added excitement, and he's gone on to place, hundreds of points betting bets since. So, points betting has said it's a different, way to view an event because every moment matters. What buckets made or run not made sort of have an impact on your bet. So also when we speak to leagues and to broadcasters, they're extremely excited about this product because it's a huge engagement tool to ensure that, while people are staying in their seats or staying in their couches and sort of watching sporting events to the very end.
I have to tell you, I have your app on my phone, and I'm always on it, and I have it on my computer. And not only does it have up-to-date and accurate information, I think the information is laid out in such a way that it's very user-friendly. I mean, I've been on other sportsbook apps, and it's really difficult to navigate some of them, but yours is very easy to follow. How important was it to create a website or a mobile site that was user-friendly?
Yeah, I think it's absolutely number one. I think when you look at sort of customer surveys in Europe, Australia, and now in the US, whilst obviously promotions are important at times and great prices and sort of loyalty programs, ultimately it comes down to speed and ease of use. And I tend to agree a lot of the apps that went out before us in New Jersey were pretty much sort of replicas of Europe, which is a very different client base. It's a lot more mature and, the front ends are very busy. And so for a client that's experienced sports betting for the first time or is, more sort of new to the market, it's a lot to, compute and confront. We sort of made it an emphasis to really, simplify the front end, make it very clearly laid out, have a featured market section with the games that get the highest handle there, again, at the tip of, our people's fingers. And as said, last month we just released a new version of our app, which is probably a 3 to 4 times upgrade on our sort of previous app and is now probably sort of 2 times as fast as any other app in the market. And that's probably just the tip of the spear, to be honest. We're going to keep, by finding ways to make the app faster and easier. We also released a function called Quick Parlay Builder, which is a first to market or first of its kind here in the US. And it allows clients really quickly within seconds to build a parlay bet and have a parlay. And again, it all just ties into speed and ease of use, which is number one for us.
Okay, hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. See you on the other side.
Getting my kids ready and driving them to school.
But a careless driver can change your life in an instant, and insurance companies want to settle on the cheap. Auto Accident Help Desk connects victims with powerful lawyers. They fight for you.
I called Auto Accident Help Desk and got help for my pain and suffering.
Don't let an insurance company take advantage of you. Our attorneys fight and beat big insurance every day. If you've been injured in an automobile accident in the last 6 months, you owe it to yourself to make this free call with no obligation.
When I called, they asked me a few questions and matched me with a powerful lawyer who knew how to fight for me.
Call now. We're available 24/7 to help you get the money you deserve for your pain and suffering.
They got me way more than the insurance company offered.
Auto Accident Help Desk helps accident victims like you every day.
Call 800-613-4611, 800-613-4611, 800-613-4611.
Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from House of Cards with your House of Cards gaming report for the week of March 2nd, 2020. The Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board has released some very impressive revenue numbers for the Keystone State. In January, gaming revenue in Pennsylvania saw a 17% increase in January from this time last year. Also, according to the report, revenue from Pennsylvania's online casinos increased over 31% from the month before. MGM Resorts was hacked and the information was placed on an online forum last week. The information of over 10 million people who stayed at MGM Resorts did not include financial data. However, names, phone numbers, birthdays, addresses, and emails were posted in the forum. Included in the hacked data was information belonging to government officials. And finally, what could be worse than a casino having to announce that its revenues have fallen? Well, their slot machine could stop working. And that's exactly what happened to the Encore Boston Harbor Hotel in Massachusetts. On a Friday night, several slot machines stopped working because of a computer issue, forcing the employees to pay out winnings by hand. I guess it was a pretty tough week in Beantown. Have any news or tips regarding casinos, gaming, or legislation? Send us an email at newsroom@houseofcardsradio.com and follow us on Twitter at HOC Radio.
You're listening to House of Cards.
I bet you $20 I can get you gambling before the end of the day. No way. I'll give you 3-1 odds. No. 5-1. No. 10-1. You're on.
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishuttle with you. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with the CEO of PointsBet, Johnny Aitken. You know, one of the other amazing things about PointsBet is how fast it's spreading across the United States, which I think is a testament of how good a sportsbook it is. Right now, how many states are you currently in or have market access to?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we're currently live in New Jersey and Iowa. In Iowa, we run both a retail operation at the Catfish Bend Casino in Burlington, Iowa, and we also run an online sportsbook there. We're soon to go live in Indiana. Touchwood, again, we'll be live there before the start of March Madness. That'll be online only. And then we have a further 9 states where we have agreed sort of market access. So I feel very confident that, you know, PointsBet will be able to enter states that we want to enter and choose to enter, and we'll have a national presence. And that's obviously extremely important as more states open up to be speaking in these big sort of national sort of media deals. You need, you know, simply to be live in the, you know, sort of states that matter, and sort of, you know, PointsBet's achieved that, and through our success we'll be, you know, awarded the right to enter, you know, other states that we haven't sort of captured yet.
You know, as I said, one of the great things about PointsBet is how accurate and up-to-date the information is, and that leads me to the deal that you made with the National Basketball Association. What does your partnership deal with the NBA entail?
We sort of made it a focus from sort of day one that we wanted to create a partnership with the league that was both a win-win, both for PointsBet and both for the NBA. It had to be more than just the official sort of data component, which is important to elevating the client experience. And so we've been able to come to an arrangement with them where we've delivered the first-to-market win probability metric. And what that means is it's a simplified way of, again, presenting odds. So we have a team of in-house statisticians, in-house traders that are based here in, you know, the United States, and they're obviously computing the probability of teams winning both at a pre-game level and then as soon as the game starts and ongoing. So sort of rather than present, I guess, odds in an American odds or a decimal odds or a fractional odds, this deal is a new way of sort of presenting odds as a percentage chance of a team sort of winning the game. And we'll see that win probability metric, you know, rolled out over NBA.com and other platforms. And I think it's really exciting. And again, we'll be really, you know, I'll be, you know, fascinated to see how it's sort of received and whether, you know, are moving forward, that sort of percentages could actually be a way of, you know, displaying odds as opposed to the more old school way of displaying odds currently with the American odds minus 200 and plus 350, for example.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, and I think that's really going to help out your customers to really analyze the game, what they're looking at. And I got to tell you, you know, we've had Seth Young and Darrell Rivas on the show, and it's amazing to hear how much PointsBet is doing to educate its customers on sports betting. I mean, you have something called the Darrell Rivas Betting Academy. I mean, with so many people who are new to sports betting, is that the philosophy of PointsBet, that a educated consumer is the best kind of customer?
I think we want to provide a service that both suits a person that's having their first ever legal sports bet and also a client that's an advanced bettor. I think for people that are, you know, interacting with sort of legal sports betting for the first time, we want to create a clear line of sort of distinguishment between an offshore site and a legal sports book. In an offshore site, I don't think you're going to find sort of many sort of betting academies or help on what to bet. We really wanted to make that experience very sort of educational and sort of user-friendly in some respects, to really sort of dumb down what the money line means, the spread line means, how I guess to best explain points betting. I think we've done a great job of that. And then on the flip side, we do, again, want to target the more advanced bettor. And, you know, sort of PointsBet's led from the front by offering, for instance, the best odds on the NBA spread line. We're sort of, you know, by minus 105 for every sort of pre-game spread line, when the general market's sort of minus 110. Like I said, we offer the most markets in the world for the big four pro sort of US sports. So we do, again, want to serve both the sort of beginner bettor and also the advanced bettor.
You know, in keeping with the theme of helping out your customers, I have a lot of friends who bet on PointsBet, and they found out I was talking to you, and they wanted me to personally thank you for the Karma Committee, which I don't think any other sportsbook has. and for those who don't know, Can you tell everyone what the Karma Committee is? And it's doing amazing things for your customers.
Yeah, the Karma Committee was a concept that I was very strong on as soon as I came to the US, and I was sort of riding the tech team to really get live as quickly as we could so no other sportsbook could jump on that opportunity. We were very fortunate that we went live pretty much in the mid part of January in 2019, and a week later there was the famous Saints Rams game with that blown call, and it was a great time to launch the Karma Committee and a good Karma payout, which we did. I got calls that week off other sort of competitor CEOs sort of saying that I'm mad for doing this, and it's, again, we're going to create a really bad sort of precedent, but it's something that, isn't a gimmick for us. It's, at the core of what sort of PointsBet is. It's about, like goodwill, having the backs of our clients. We see a sort of relationship with our clients as being years and years, and we want them to have their wins and to have our support when there's a call that goes against them, or an incident like Zion's shoe blowing out last year for Duke. We also sort of refunded the money on that. So it's been extremely successful for us. It's definitely been against the grain of what other sports books have done, but it's something that, again, we'll continue to do over the coming years and in every state that we launch in.
You have the Karma Committee. You give out early payouts on some of the bets. You offer the most bet types on all of the U.S. sports. Is that the challenge in running a modern-day sports book, staying ahead of the competition and innovating to the point where you're offering your customers something they can't get anywhere else? Is that the big challenge nowadays?
Spot on, that's it. I think, whilst we felt the product or app that we went live in with New Jersey was sort of market-leading or, equal market-leading, for us, it was just the tip of the spear, and we've since made constant sort of iterations and sort of upgrades to the app. But around sort of promotions and price, that's it. We always want to be at the sort of cutting edge of the types of, our promotions that we're doing. We launched a promotion for the March Madness tournament last year called Make It Rain, where every 3-point shot that your team makes, you get $3 in bonus. Wow. We also want to test a lot of these promotions and know what sort of resonates with clients and what doesn't. And that helps us to shape our sort of strategy ahead when we go into states such as Indiana and Illinois. So there's been a lot of learnings captured. We've done promotions that have really clicked. We've done others that haven't. But it's really going to help us shape the future and our sort of strategy ahead.
You mentioned your deal with the NBA, and as a person who was living in New Jersey and who saw the local news and the newspaper and the TVs when we were going through that 8-year court battle, I know the leagues were, saying how terrible sports betting is and you shouldn't be done, but now they're making their deals themselves. I mean, you deal with a lot of the leagues now. What is their attitude towards sports betting? Is it they're all in on it now, or are they still hesitating a little bit? What has changed dealing with the leagues, the professional sports leagues?
I think there's two sort of main things. I think firstly, each league's at a different stage of how it's approaching sports betting. The NBA were probably the first out of the gate and had a very clearly defined path forward and how they want to engage with different operators. And the other leagues are sort of following. I would say that we've had very great conversations with all the big four pro sort of US sports leagues, and we're actively working towards, again, like we have with the NBA, finding a deal that works for both parties. The narrative, though, that we do share with the leagues is that, unlike, offshore, operators, we have to pay sort of taxes, what taxes at a state level, a federal level. We have to pay sort of payment gateway fees, costs around sort of geofencing, so we ensure that every bet that we strike is, again, within the state border. So adding more, I guess, onerous fees on top of that by our leagues sort of handicaps us when we want to offer great prices and great promotions and win back money from the offshore market. I think that sort of narrative has been understood by the leagues, and they're sort of working, again, sort of with us to find deals, like I said, that are both sort of win-win, and ultimately sort of both parties get the best outcome. And that's something that we're actively pushing, and it's something that should be front of mind for everyone, again, when they're assessing this sort of US sports betting opportunity, that there is an active there is an active offshore market. And again, sort of none of those operators are paying any taxes, and they're offering the best prices and the best promotions. So it's a real challenge for us sort of legal operators to sort of match them, but it's something that we have to do to get that money back onshore and taxed accordingly.
Okay, hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. See you on the other side. Having a rough morning after a long night out? Stayed at the party a little too long and you have work the next day? Well, we've all been there. That's why there's Morning Recovery. Morning Recovery is the flagship product of More Labs, and it's scientifically engineered to outsmart rough mornings. Their patent-pending formula has been designed to boost your body's natural response to alcohol, rehydrate, and restore your body's vital nutrients. What's that all mean? It means Morning Recovery helps you feel better after drinking. Take one full bottle right before your first drink, between drinks, or up to 1 hour after your last drink. Go get some rest and wake up feeling like $1,000,000. It's that simple. And we've got a special offer for you. Use promo code Radio15 at morelabs.com and get 15% off of your first purchase of Morning Recovery or any of their other great products. That's Radio15 at morelabs.com to take advantage of this great promo of 15% off of your first purchase. Morning Recovery from More Labs, so you can work hard, play hard, and live life without compromise. Okay, hold that thought. We're going to take a quick break. See you on the other side.
Haven't you heard? We don't need to hide anymore.
Now, we can shop privately for adult products at adamandeve.com. They've got massage oils, lingerie, and lots more we can't mention here. Use offer code SPICE404. They'll give you 50% off almost any one item, 3 free DVDs, free mystery gift, and free shipping. That's 50% off, free shipping, and more. Private shopping starts at adamandeve.com.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. If your employer doesn't supply health care coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private health care is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. To get the coverage you need, call the number on the screen now.
I wanna hold them like they do in Texas plays. A little gambling is fun when you're with me, I love it. Russian roulette is not the same without a gun. And baby, when it's love, if it's not rough, it isn't fun. But I'll get him hot, show him what I've got. I'll get him hot, show him what I've got. Can't read my, no he can't read my poker face. She's got to love nobody. Can't read my, no he can't read my poker face. She's got to love nobody. Pop, 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 poker Poker face. Guys, poker face. Guys. Look, I really think it's time for us to do something. This is all getting way out of hand. What do you mean? The song is sweet.
You're listening to House of Cards.
Can you dig it? Can you dig it? Can you dig it?
Welcome back to House of Cards. Dave Weishottle with you. House of Cards is brought to you by Drizzly, your online liquor store. Available in over 95 cities across North America, Drizzly offers a huge selection and competitive pricing with a side of personalized content. Now there's no need to leave the house. Get alcohol delivered in less than an hour by Drizzly. Head on over to drizzly.com and order today. And now get $5 off your first order of $20 or more when using promo code DRINK19 at checkout. Shop beer, wine, and liquor with drizzly.com. For those of you just joining us, I am talking with the CEO of PointsBet, Johnny Aitken. You know, I know the NCAA March Madness tournament is coming up, and for some, that's the greatest betting sporting event of the year. At PointsBet, is that one of your biggest times of the year? And what does PointsBet have in store for people who want to bet with PointsBet?
Yeah, March Madness is equal number one for us. You know, along with the Super Bowl, it's definitely the event where you get the most acquisition, the most activity on the site. The sheer amount of bets that you'll sort of process in a day will be in the tens of thousands up to a sort of 100,000. So it's a huge time. It's something that we planned for well in advance. We obviously had a very successful March Madness when we launched last year in New Jersey. It was centered on the sort of Make It Rain promotion. We don't like to be too stale here at PointsBet, so we feel we've got something more exciting up our sleeves. I can't sort of, share that yet, but it's something that, again, will come out in the coming weeks. But, yeah, it's something that the whole sort of company, again, sort of gets around, and we expect huge sort of volumes. And, again, it's, I guess sort of really exciting because it'll be the first time that we're not only live in New Jersey, but, again, we'll be live in Indiana. And, again, as you know, Indiana's a mad sort of college sports state, and they'll have teams in the March Madness tournament. So, yeah, it's very exciting. Can't wait for next month for it to kick off.
Incredible things happened in 2019 with PointsBet. What can we expect in 2020 with regards to PointsBet?
I think the main three things is scale. You are going to see the PointsBet brand now in states like Indiana, Illinois, Colorado to support New Jersey and Iowa. You're going to see the PointsBet brand on TV. As I said, today in New Jersey, because of the fractured sort of, a landscape there, we haven't invested in sort of TV ads, but, we will as we enter states like Indiana and Illinois. And lastly, what you'll see is just more sort of cutting edge technology and product. We want to have the best client experience possible. We do want to, again, maintain that strength around sort of goodwill. So you'll see continued sort of, karma payouts, great pricing, great promotions. But for us, the long-term game is that the best product wins, and that's what, again, with our own technology and the best people, again, we can build. And so that's the focus for us.
Johnny, we're running out of time, but can you give out a website or a social media address so people around the country can go and learn about PointsBet and keep up to date with all the promotions you're giving out?
Yeah, I think it's very easy. Just go into Twitter or Facebook. We have an active sort of social media team that work around the clock. These guys seem to not sleep, so they're always posting stuff, and we've built a great engagement. Yeah, so search for PointsBet USA on Twitter and Facebook to follow us, and it's been great being on the show. Thanks so much for having me.
Thank you, Johnny Aitken, CEO of PointsBet. Thanks for coming on and telling us all about the great things happening at PointsBet and for running an absolutely great sportsbook. Well, that'll do it for us this week. I'll see you next time on House of Cards.
Across the desert plain, You build a house of cards around a lover's heart. Wild country in your head, gone dead, riverbed in the dust, you cry, cry.